Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name's Dan Watson.
I'm Paul Sloggett. Welcome to the Dare.
Today on the show, we've got a very special guest, and we're going to bring him in as we speak. Welcome to the show, Scott Leadbitter.
Yo, yo.
Leadbitter.
All right, dude.
You all right?
Yeah, man.
Thank you for agreeing to come on here, fella. Thank you for being
It's an
the
absolute
first
pleasure.
guest.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, we're gonna try and have a bit of fun tonight. Try and get a bit of info out of you as to get to know the rider behind the man, the myth, the Andre LaRoche current trophy holder.
Yes,
Scott Leadbitter.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries, no worries.
That being my lifetime achievement award, I think.
Was it previously your 25-meter swimming badge? Yeah.
Yes. In me pajamas, though. In me pajamas, yeah.
Do you remember doing that? Did you have to dive to the bottom and rescue a brick?
Rescue, yeah. You had to get a brick off the bottom, and then you had to tread water in your pajamas. Then you had to take your pajamas off whilst treading water, and then you had to hold the trousers above your head, didn't you? Something like that.
That's the Northern thing. They definitely did that down
It sounds
here.
like your swimming instructor was up to something wrong there. I remember doing PE as a kid in pants and socks, but it was only in secondary school in maths when the teacher said to me, "You don't have to do this in your pants and socks."
I like it.
So yeah, let's get to know a little bit behind Scott. Tell us what I mean. You've got an accent on you. I hope the listeners around the world
just
can
attached. This will have subtitles. Yeah,
you reckon?
If it guns any further than Durham, it'll need subtitles. But of course, you knew us from London days,
right.
when I was more refined.
When you used to poke your finger out when you
spoke a lot slower. And I had to drop the I when I moved to London. So I means yes up here. So somebody asks you a question, you don't answer yes, you say I. But when I moved to London, I was working on a job and somebody said, "Can you work Saturday?" And I said, "I." And he went, "Can you work Saturday?" And I went, "I." He went, "Can you work Saturday?" And I was like, "I," as in, "I, what you saying, mate?" But it was I, yes, I will. So from there, I dropped the I and picked up the yes, you see. So then I used to come up north and my dad used to go, "You've changed." With this yes malarkey.
Yeah. I thought for a moment then, I thought he was going to turn around and go, "No, dost thou work on a Saturday?" Wicked, yeah. So, crikey, back in those London days, we would be knocking around all over London, skateboarding, mountainboarding. That'd been about 2002, 2003, maybe around that sort of time. Do you reckon?
Well, funny you should mention that. I was getting mixed up with the dates. So I was thinking, obviously, Greenwich Park was the big one.
Yeah.
My first experience on a mountain board was Greenwich Park. So I had looked into, I'd been backpacking in Australia. I'd come back from Australia, 2000, brought me longboard with us, started going down to Greenwich Park longboarding, and then autumn came and it got too slippery to ride. So that got put to one side. I was thinking, I'm bored here. There's nothing to do in the winter. What should I get into? And I looked around and I saw kites and I saw kite buggies and I thought, oh, that looks all right. So I bought myself a kite and there was a shop in Covent Garden. I went into the kite shop in Covent Garden. And when I was in Covent Garden, and I had seen a mountain board before, but I'm sure it was, the metal frame type.
Yeah.
Remember the ones with the huge metal frames and stuff? It was stuff like that.
With just the wooden board on the top with the carry.
That's it. Yeah, no, they were huge.
And heavy.
And I went into the shop and I saw one. I thought, that looks a bit interesting with me skating and stuff, come from a skating background. And that's when, see, I've got props with this here, right? that's when I found that as well, which is dated. This is ATB Mag issue 1, March 2002.
Issue 1.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've been in the treasure box.
That is rocking horse shit right there.
Slogs, that's not a euphemism. Treasure box is where I keep all my stuff.
He calls it a glory box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found this, right, and then I think there was, and the 2 people I ended up riding with as well, Ollie and somebody else. Can you remember them? A couple of Groms, and one had a biohazard board. And I saw the biohazard board in it, and looking through the internet and stuff like that, and then managed to get myself what I thought was a biohazard deck. And then when it arrived, I got it all the way from Poland. It turns out it was the full complete board with inline tires, stainless steel trucks, and you had to drill the pegs on the top and put the Velcro straps on yourself.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm a carpenter, so I made a total arse of that. I put the straps. I thought, right, I'll stand like this, and I'll put the straps like that, and that's how I stand. But it was completely wrong. Went down to Greenwich Park. Went to the top of the hill.
Top of the red road.
Top of the red road.
It wasn't the red road. I'll tell you where it was. Just down from the observatory on the grass bank.
Yeah.
I thought I'll try the grass bank first. So I went there, no pads, no helmet or anything like that. Got on the board, didn't have a clue what I was doing, and started rolling. And as I was rolling down the hill, I heard honestly, it's straight out of a movie nearly. I heard this whooping and hollering, and all of us, as I was coming to a stop, boom, somebody on a mountain board went flying past us, then somebody else, then somebody else, then somebody else. And they all sort of turned around and got up and started asking us questions. How long you been born and stuff like that. And I was just like, this is it. This is the first run. And that was John Horbin, Tony Best,
Yeah.
Joe Jones from Welsh Wales.
From Welsh Wales.
He'll punch us for the accent. And Clive Galway.
Clive Galway.
Yeah.
Was there anybody? I think that might have been it. There might have been one other person there. I'm not sure.
So what year are you saying that was? 2002?
That's got to be 2002, that, yeah.
Because I didn't bump into you lot until 2003, spring 2003, in Greenwich Park.
Yes.
I bumped into you because I was doing the red run on a dirt surfer. I
was going to see you had the silver dirt surfer, didn't you?
Yeah, because you introduced me to mountainboarding because I'd never seen one before.
Yes.
I was riding one of those dirt surfers, just bombing the hill, straight line in it.
Still got mine.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I still got your dirt surfer. Yes, I've still have mine every now and again. But yeah, when I met up with all those lot, they took us under the wing. John lent us some elbow pads and stuff and said, "Oh, you need pads. You should get a helmet." We've got a plastic ramp with you. We'll get the plastic ramp out later on. And then we went to, remember halfway down Lover's Walk? It was like a left-hand turn.
Yeah.
And there was this, I'm doing this with my hands, right? There's a little grass bank in a small parapet wall like that.
Yeah, and it's got
Clive,
a little on the top of it. Yeah,
I've looked on the internet for this, right? Clive goes to me.
I know what you're going to say.
Clive goes to me. I'm going to drop in, roll down the hill, and I'm going to ollie over the parapet wall onto the path and follow the path down a little bit, right? And I'm thinking, fuck me, this is
I was stood next to you for this.
So you were there as well?
Yeah,
right,
I was
so you
there
were there that day. Sorry,
I wasn't there. I've seen the footage though.
So, so Clive drops in, and as he's coming down, I'm looking at it right from a skate, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, ollieing when you're going down a hill up in the air, that's pretty hard to do as well. As I'm thinking this, he rolled down the hill, his front wheels locked into the parapet wall, and he basically did a pivot and managed to just turn his face away at the last minute, so his helmet took the full force of it and knocked himself fucking clean out. And I remember standing over and looking, and like his eyes were going big and small and stuff like that. And that's when I thought, fuck me, mountainboard's awesome.
That was
it's like you can't even jump off.
Yeah. We talk. I know Slogger has the Scorpion King title, but you'd have been proud of it, man.
You can
The
take
footage
the
has got to be
man.
out
You
there.
can take it.
He can take it. Yeah, he full on scorpion, face first into the tarmac. He didn't even make the distance.
There's definitely footage of it because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Of Clive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Definitely.
yeah. It's
I've
definitely
seen
there's
it.
footage of it. Yeah.
I think he's on, or his videos are still on YouTube under Evil C or whatever.
Oh shit! Yeah, Evil C, man. I forgot.
It's somewhere
Yes.
hidden in one of those edits.
Yes.
But maybe we'll try and dig it out for the viewers.
Must be one of the early edits.
If we could get that in a little animation down there, or that clip, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Clive was like a banner across the top, so we can take the fucking title.
I think we should go down to Greenwich Park. He deserves a blue plaque for that. Fuck Hendrix. Evil C, face planted, yeah. Blue plaque on that little parapet wall.
We'll make one. Next time one of us goes to London, we'll have to put a blue plaque up on.
Oh, that has to be done. Yeah.
Hey, how good was that to see him as well this summer?
I was just going to say, he was at the comp, and it was just, that was the draw of the event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So many. You don't want to keep harking back, but this is the history. You know what I mean? And he was a massive, and still is, just a massive part of the scene. It was fantastic to see him. It was really good to see him.
And
I mean, you know what it is? He was the first person that was constantly trying to put a 180 in everywhere. And remember, there was a big thing whenever we used to go on a fucking day to do it switch.
Yeah.
And he got the 180s going. But he would do them like you'd think, right, you should be doing it now, and then he would do it late and stuff like that. He was a pioneer. Another place as well, I remember Pork.
Yes, Penshurst Off-Road Centre.
Penshurst Off-Road Centre. There was this huge drop-off. That was a big thing to do.
Yeah, I remember the one, yeah.
Fuck me, went to do a 180 off the top of that and did exactly the same thing. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Oh, I'll try it. Did a 90 off it, basically into his face.
Sloggs knows all about the bloody Penshurst.
Yeah, Pork, yeah.
That was... That tried to clear the road gap, was it? It was a road gap down there, I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
bottom third, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Dave Compton were out.
That's right. And well, you tell the story.
Oh man,
God, let's hear it. Yeah,
not right now, man. It's just like a fucking roller coaster. It was so long ago. I can't remember what the fuck happened.
Let's put it quite simply. You come up.
We're not on a technical know-how and skill, just crunched it. Probably scorpioned it, I'd imagine.
Well, can you remember as well, like when we first started going there, it was all mountain bikes, and we were the guests, as it were. And then a few more borders starting to go, And I remember talking to the guy that used to run the little cafe. Mm-hmm. And he used to go, he was like nuts, no brakes and stuff like that. And he really started, like getting to know well and stuff like that. And quite a nice friendly vibe going on, no sort of differences between the bikers and the boarders and stuff like that. Anyway, we were getting a lift home, and it was autumn time, and it was starting to get dark, and we're nearly the last ones in the car park. And to my shame, I said, "Oh, I really need a piss before we go." And he says, "Just have one next to the van." And I went, "Oh, no." He goes, "Just have one next to the van, man." I went, "All right." So I started having a piss. And he pulled away in the van. And I've done this to people since. So I was standing in the car park facing the cafe, having a piss. And he came and opened the door and just went, "You fucking animals," and slammed the door shut.
Did you get banned or not?
Nah, I don't think so.
No, I'm done then.
But I'm pleased he showed us that trick. I did it to my son at Arcade Skate Park when that was around.
pull away midstream.
Just have one next to the van. Don't worry, your dad won't tell anybody. Watch this. You may have to delete that, like, actually, yeah.
No, is that Zach?
Yeah.
No, sorry, mate. You're out of luck of staying in.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked. So, yeah, you got about you were living in London at the time.
Yes.
Being a chippy, skating Greenwich, and then you obviously got to know what was the beginnings of the London and Regional Dirtboard Association, aka LADAS or LADAS. And then and started riding with them. I remember days with you and the crew down at XBP in Surrey, or the Hill Centre, that me and Sloggs both worked at.
Yes,
done our tenureship there.
Well, that was it, wasn't it? Your Saturday mornings, you got up at the crack of dawn, straight down to London Bridge with your board, with all your belongings on it, and down to Redhill, and there every day, and then Greenwich every night.
Yeah,
or any other places.
You have to catch a taxi from the station down to the centre.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Happy days, man.
And a roast on the way home.
Yeah.
The thing is as well. I think there was the carvery with the half pipe in the tennis courts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Excuse me. That we used to ride.
Nutfield.
Yes.
It was Nutfield, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, brilliant place. I absolutely loved it there. I think the first time I went there it must have been 2002. When was the foot and mouth? Was that 2001, 2002? Because I think the competition that year was affected by the foot and mouth outbreak in the countryside. So I think there was the ATB UK running at that time. But I didn't compete that year. I'm sure it was the year after that I went down and competed. My
first comp wasn't until 2003. I only got involved in the summer before with going down to Redhill, and then didn't start competing until the summer after. So I think maybe it was 2001, maybe 2001. I remember I went out to Australia in 2000. And they were checking the soles of your feet for dirt and
that was just you, Dan.
No, that's just me trying to get a plug in for the podcast. But yeah, and I think that there was an old Mountainboard video, wasn't there, called the Foot and Mouth Year or something?
Yes, yeah.
I can't. I don't know who made that. That was that vet guy who was doing it. Joe, was it Joe something or other? Road No Snow with the Tatham brothers and that. Joe Inglis, is that right?
Oh, right, yeah, I recognise his name.
He was a vet on TV or something, and I'm sure he used to make a few edits and put out a few DVDs.
Yeah,
that back in the day. So yeah, we rode with you plenty round all of London. What was it? Sunday morning breakfast
club.
That was Stockwell, wasn't it? Stockwell.
Down the pink beach.
Yeah, the red asphalt days. Oh, honestly.
Then were the days. Kennington Bowl as well.
Kennington Bowl, yeah. Speaking of the Lord Presents, so can you remember this? More. Can you remember this?
Lord Presents.
Can you remember this? It was the film festival.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, was that down that pub in Greenwich?
But Sunday, the 7th of December, at the Market Pub, Greenwich.
Yes.
So that's 2003, that.
Yeah.
So that, if you can remember, is signed by Steve Caballero, Jim Greco,
Tony Alva,
Jeff Rowley, Tony Alva.
Was that for when they were over for the Snickers Bowl?
No.
What they did was they came and they opened
to see Lard
in Carnaby Street.
In the Lard Film Festival.
We flew them in.
The biggest names in skateboarding coming open. A regional film festival consisting of 2 films under a minute or 2 long.
I just remember ringing Alvar up and saying, "Do you yeah, I'm in." I was like, "You don't know what it is, man, for fuck's sake." I'll do it. Only if and Jim Greco and Jeff Rowley come. Throw in a pair of trainers and it can all come. Okay. And then Steve Van der Ren tagged along as well. And then they opened a shop. Yeah.
I tell you who was there also from the Brit side, Danny Wainwright.
Danny Wainwright, that was your signature I couldn't get.
What were they there for? Where were they over for? What comp?
No, it wasn't a comp.
Just literally for an opening of a shop.
Yeah. Can you remember it?
Shop. No. I might be in Australia then.
You might.
No, you weren't. No, because I tell you why. Because I couldn't wait to see me childhood hero, Steve Caballero. And I'm sure it was you I was talking to, because Fernando was there as well. Because there's a picture of Fernando and Tony Alva and that. I remember I was going, where the fuck's Steve Caballero? And I'm pretty sure it was you, Sloggs.
Oh, there he is.
Sloggs was going, he's over there. And I went, where? He went, over there. So there's this guy standing there in like an American football type top. And I walked over and I stood next to him. And you know when you stand next to somebody and you do that? And I'm looking from the other side of, I'm sure Sloggs was at the other side of the ramp. And I'm this side going, it's not him. And he's going, not him, him. and Steve Caballero, just like fucking, I think he'd had a night on the sauce. He must have been drinking then. Not that he's an alcoholic or anything like that. He's my hero. But I think they'd all had a big night out because it was Danny Wainwright that was killing it on the ramp.
Yeah, and Mark Churchill.
And oh God, honestly. Yes,
that guy back in the day. I mean, he just covered the Olympics, didn't he, with the skateboarding?
Yes,
the voice of skateboarding.
Yes, Tour de Force as Mark Churchill.
He was massive air amplitude on that tiny little mini ramp.
Yeah. I'd seen him at the Urban Games as well. You know, the Urban Games at Clapham Common.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up accidentally becoming the world snakeboarding champion as well. Totally getting off mountainboarding, the history of Mark Churchill. I think he's got a story about that as well. But anyway, I did get to meet the hero, Steve Caballero. I did get the poster signed. And what we did...
I cannot remember being there, man.
Can you not?
My memory is shot to bits, though, but...
It was like in a courtyard. It was like in a courtyard.
It was, and they had a ramp set up.
And they had a black mini ramp. It's only like a 3-4 foot mini ramp, and all the clothes were session in it. I've still got my. Oh look here.
Am I looking black? Because I'm feeling it. If I see a picture, I might go.
You might not be able to see it, but look at that! It's got a bit of dust on there. There's Tony Alva's signature on there.
Yes,
but have you seen him sticker has got cab sticker on there, and then right at the bottom, you guys will love this one. Oh, just shout out Kerwidgey Surf Shop. That was Dougie from Ride the Hill. His skate shop. Before
the original manager.
That's it. And then right at the bottom here.
Fernando's favourite scene.
The LADAS bloody sticker on the tail and all.
I tell you what, Dan, you're going to have to get the tattoo gun out again.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I want to block a lard.
Okay.
I want to block a fatsters economy lard tattoo on us.
Yes.
Lard for life written on it.
On your ass.
or a tramp stamp. So when I'm old and decrepit and somebody's helping us into a bath or wiping me arse, I'm going, the fuck's that? But anyway, going back to the poster and the whole shenanigans, that's 2003. Tony Barnacle Best made a sort of like a video library with, because then you had to carry a big massive VCR on your skateboard and follow people around with it and stuff like that. No GoPros or anything like that, you know. And he documented the year for 2003. And what we did is we had that pub, and they put it on the big screen for that night. Can you remember? We all went down and we got rip roaring drunk.
It was the same. It's the same pub that Dan had leaving to go to Australia. Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you red Dan pants on.
That's right.
Same pub. Remember that, Scotty?
Did you have to? You think you did have Dan?
You've been with me a few times with the Dan pants on. To be
Dan
fair,
pants.
Do you remember? I think we went to we went out snowboarding, didn't we?
Snowboarding, yes.
And I ended up getting in a fight with the barman because he wouldn't give me clothes back. At the end of the night, we're trying to catch the bus home, and he's like, "No, you're not having them." And then started having a scrap with me in the bar. And some poor bloke and his missus, she's pissed up, putting €5 notes down my pants on the dance floor. Fiance husband got the right royal ump, tore her out of the bloody bar. Oh, crazy.
You're not going to fit many €5 notes down them pants, that's for sure.
You know what it is? I think I've got photographs of that on a disc somewhere. And I've set an old computer up, but I'm scared to put it in case the Dan Pants photographs come up. Because you know how the In-Betweeners did that thing where he goes down the catwalk with one of his balls hanging out. You fucking did it 15 years earlier in a pub.
On purpose.
But
for €5 notes, you slut.
If you put a €1 coin in the top that just used to slide out the side, didn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
But going back to the pub. So we had this mountain board movie film festival thing, and what they did was we all sat and watched it, and then they left it on a loop, and we had a couple of things to raffle, and one of them, Adrian, had brought along a cheap longboarder. I forget why we were raffling the money. We were trying to raise money for something. I can't remember, probably just PR or something. And some poor lad playing pool won the longboard downstairs, and we were like, fuck. Because everybody in the pub started buying raffle tickets off it. So this lad won the longboard, and I remember going, it's a shame one of us didn't win it, so that, you know, it keeps it in like our sort of gang type thing. But this bloke was quite pissed, and he was standing at the door of the pub, and he went, I used to skateboard back in the day, and he put the skateboard on the floor and went to skate away, and just went straight over and banged his head off the ground. And we all just sort of went, fuck all to do with us. He had that skateboard when he got you. Just shut the door.
Night. So, I mean, crikey, we could bang on for hours about all the old memories.
Yeah. So that was 2003, anyway. Yeah.
And obviously, you got fully involved in the competition scene from there on out with all the LADAS crew. And you got a few good results from that, did you not?
I did. What happened was I went to, I think it was Court Farm at the time. And I was at Court Farm, and Joe Jones put my name down to race. I said, I'm not interested in race. I was too nervous, and I'd never been, the only time I'd ever done any racing, and I think I sent you a picture of it, was I'd raced BMX in 1982 or something like that. But so competitively, I just wanted to do it for a laugh and stuff like that. And I've spoken to Steve Burbeck about this before as well. So I got in the gate, four-man gate.
Steve. We'll get him on here some point. I don't forget.
Yeah, he'll not be able to resist this, man. He's got more stories than me.
Yeah.
So
we will go wedge and edgeway. So
we gets in the gate. There was Steve, me, John Poole, and I don't know who the other person. It might have been Tony as well in the gate. And I was in the gate, and my fucking knees were knocking together and everything like that. And I can't remember what it was. It might have just been ready, steady, go, gate drops. And as that gate dropped, I mean, I couldn't even make it down the whole track, but I just remember pulling as hard as I could and going for it. And by the time I got to the bottom of the ramp, thinking, fucking hell, I think I'm in first place here. But by the time I got to the corner, I thought, well, there's no way I can get around that corner. Got annihilated in the corner. Everybody went past us, jumped back on my feet, managed to get down. And I think I might have gotten third or something like that. And that was it. The touch paper was lit after that. And I did enjoy it. Yeah, it was just one of those things. It lit the touch paper, and it brought out a competitive side of us that I never knew was there. And Steve said to me, and I can't remember how long it was a few years later, he says, I'll never forget that first race we were in. He says, down it goes, and he says, and off you went like a whippet. And I thought, who the fuck does he think he is? And just fucking boosh, it was on, you know. And hearing that from Steve was, you know, it doesn't get any better, does it? You know.
Well, I think you guys had obviously
very humbling,
friendly, but there was quite the rivalry.
Oh,
between
definitely.
You back in there. I mean, he was pretty. He seemed pretty untouchable in the Masters class back in the day. He definitely ruled the roost for a little while, but it wasn't without challenges like yourself to that crown. You know, it could have been any man's race on the day. It always felt like.
I always found I would always come off trying to get past Steve. On every track, especially out of grass as well. I remember out of grass one time, nearly on him and just sketching out about 3/4 of the length down the track and just thinking, is it ever going to happen type thing. And I think it was the season after, in one of the races, that's when I sort of learned about timing. If it's a qualifying race and the top two go through, don't take the leader out, try to beat him. Try and be a little bit more savvy. Try and think about the race a little bit more. Think about your positioning. Where you're going to seed. Do you want to slow it down? Do you want to, when it's knockout round, you've got to come first or second. But you don't want to topple the leader to get through. I don't know, all those things.
Yeah, well, I think that was back pre-timing, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely pre-timing. So it was all
done on positions.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely that way of doing it. Is you definitely need to be thinking about.
Yes, and Steve had that as well. He could, I think, being able to race and think and be strategic whilst racing on something that could last not even a minute. Making split-second decisions and trying to make them on the hop. That's what I was learning all the time. But I did consider calling myself wingnut at that time because I came off quite easily. and the other thing as well, that was like pre-comp 16. You won. I mean, the first board I had didn't have egg shocks or anything like that in. Your feet constantly vibrating out of the straps. That's what I used to. Sometimes you go across the finish line and you had one foot nearly half out as you're going past, and you're too busy trying to think. You're not thinking about the position. You're just thinking about getting over the finish line without dying.
I mean, obviously, Brindy and Cody and a lot of the Americans will say differently, but we could just go straight into the great heel strap foot diaper debate. Because it rages on even today. Even today, and even the electric community of
really,
they're still on this. I don't even want to have bindings. And then the ones that have taken the leap to bindings, they're I won't be able to get my foot out. Like you take 1 foot out at 30 miles an hour, you are fucked. You are fucked. There's no way you're running out of it. Even if you get both out.
That was one of the things as well when people were learning it, Ride the Hill as well, was saying, whatever you do, don't try and get off the board. And people would, they would think, right, this is far too fast. I'm going to try and step off this board. And that's when it would go horribly wrong, wouldn't it? So
they end up doing the splits. Just dragging a face straight down the dirt.
There was some there were some amazing upsides to working as an instructor at that place. At being one of them. every day you can guarantee some people are going to eat shit. I mean, could you imagine the footage now that we'd have now if we had phones with cameras back in the day? I'd be sending you guys, if we were still working there, we'd be sending you like daily pics of 20-30 clips of people eating shit.
You'd have your own hall of meat for mountain boarders. It's like
hall of meat. Some of those, they're great. So yeah, that was us guys riding back in the day, and a little bit about the old racing between yourself and Steve, and you did get some overall results though, didn't you? On a number of seasons?
So I think the first the first time I raced, I might have been the tail end of a season, and then I did a whole season. And at the end of that season, that's when you became team captain for Ride the Hill. That's when you came to me and said, "Do you want to ride for Ride the Hill?" Stoked, absolutely stoked. And that year, 2004, that was the first year I got a result in the overall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think 2004, 2005, the Ride the Hill team just cleaned up.
There it is.
Hey.
And let's not forget, there was five events to the season, weren't there?
Yeah, five events.
So there's 5 different events over the season, over the summer.
I don't think downhill was running then, but it was certainly boardacross and freestyle combined for those.
That was third. That was third overall in my first sort of competitive.
Cracking. You can't ride for much better than that.
Yeah, you know what it is. I thought I'd been pipped at the post for 4th, and it was really hard to keep track of it. And I mean, the amount of riders that were turning up to these events and stuff like that, I think I was down to almost a 4-day week at work because that came first and work came second. And what you were having to do was you're having to go to wherever it was you were riding, practice the week before, then turn up for the competition because you had limited practice because there's that many people hitting the track and stuff like that. You had to know the track before you were going. Yeah. So it took up all of your time.
Hundreds of competitors, weren't there?
Yes.
On a weekend?
Yeah.
Like through all the 8 different age groups, it was absolute carnage.
Because I remember Joe Jones giving us a nudge and saying you might want to get in the other front when they were handing out trophies. I was like, all right. And then when I got the third, stoked with that. Brilliant. Yeah.
Cracking. And you've been on to do Rhythm Cross.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that, because I've never ridden a Rhythm Cross event.
Right. No. So we'll fast forward. So 2005, I did compete, but I was expecting my first child, Reese, in 2005. And that's the year I moved from London and came back to Northumberland to Cramlington, where I'm originally from. So came up here, and for the first sort of year, I think I managed to get down to maybe one event. I got up to a Scottish event, met up with Sloggs at Scotland for an event.
Was that the event with the mattress round the tree?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, yes.
You could go around the fire road or do the gnarly cut through, drop down.
Yes, right. Aye, because I remember coming through that. The cut through was seeing Chris McCarthy do that. It was Chris McCarthy and Leon Robbins. They were the two, and Chris McCarthy was using his brake, and Leon Robbins wasn't. And there wasn't even a second in it, I don't think, in a finishing place. Chris McCarthy, awesome rider, absolutely awesome rider.
I've no idea.
Yeah, that was a hell of an event. That.
It was a very good event. So we sorry, I cut you off as such a little bit on that, didn't I? You were telling us about 2005, and then...
Yeah. I'm just trying to get me timeline in. So 2005, and then looking for a scene, because riding a mountain board by yourself, it can be a bit boring. And I started going to a freestyle club for snowboarding on a dry ski slope, and then bumped into the legend that is Andy Root Dog. So me and Root Dog were chatting, and we went to a pub called the Board Inn. We got chatting and all that, and he just casually mentioned, "Oh, I've just bought a mountain board. Oh, I've got a mountain board." So picked up. We did a couple of trips down to out to Grass, Herefordshire down there, a couple of the other centres.
Your bug boarding? Did you go down there? That's
Surf the Dirt. Can you remember Did you ever go to Surf the Dirt as well? So I think we're pushing on now, maybe he's into about 07, 08.
Yeah.
And then bumped into a lad called Cheb, Graham Wedderman, as he's now known, and Andy Dumlow. And this is now core neats formed. This is Andy Root Dog, Cheb, and Andy Dumlow and myself, the four of us. And this is when Neat was born.
Neat being...
And this was Northeast All Terrain. Neat Borders.
Neato.
And we wanted to, obviously we're going to start competing, but we had nowhere to drive to. What was our nearest centre? Our nearest centre would have been Surf the Dirt. But like I say, that had shut down. So there was a BMX track, and my kids had started BMXing. And we'll go to the BMX track, and it was really difficult to get around the BMX track. And then one day, Cheb made it around the BMX track on the flat, just pumping. So it's like the best part about mountain boarding is the fun bit when you go with your mates. You'll be doing something, and you get into sort of a bit of routine, and then one of you will either go further up the hill, or they'll do a little trick off something, and then everybody wants to do that, and then it's just progression, isn't it? So progression is the key. So because he got round the track, like, it can be done.
You've got to do it now.
Peer pressure, innit?
So yeah, so we're all managing to get in. You were blowing out your arse by the time you got around the track. I know it's sort of, in a sense, it wasn't as enjoyable, but it was more physical. But the more we're doing that, the more you were finding when you were going downhill, you could control your speed better, or you could gain speed better. And then we took that to the downhill competitions, and that's when it started progressing. We were riding BMX tracks as a tool to compete better at the downhill events. Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah, that's what it was.
It's like aerobic training for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another one of the things is it's like going back to what we're saying about, people getting hurt and falling out of bindings and stuff like that. How many people that, we probably can't remember now, came into the scene, did really well, but maybe's had an injury, or they were self-employed and hurt themselves. And it was a big ask sometimes, because none of the centres, they would have like a sort of a training area or an easy area, but it would be dead easy. And the jump from that to that Border X track would be huge. Yeah. And, you always say to people, start halfway up and then try it and then go down. Yeah. But, some of them tracks, you were going into a corner and it was full tilt, like, there was no holding back. Yeah, there was no scrubbing off speed or anything like that. It was really intimidating. But riding BMX tracks, I think it appeals a little bit more to. It's a bit like your enduro riders, mm-hmm. Who people on a mountain bike who don't want to do big gnarly downhill stuff, but they've got the fitness levels and they've got abilities and they've got skills. It was about taking it onto there, and that's when we did the Neat Gorilla Jam, because we found a track called Willington, which was flat at the top, and then at the bottom it's just hang on and ride it out. Oops, sorry. And that's what started that off. Yeah. Uh-huh. So yeah, it's just a training tool for that.
Oh,
and then led on to bigger things.
You still ride them?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Always on the lookout for a decent bear. But the beauty about it now is the Velo Solutions pump tracks, which are springing up all over the place. There's some excellent pump tracks. Going to one this Saturday, hike up in Scotland. Adam Corica.
Adam Corica.
He writes. Yeah, he writes that. We met up with him for the Scottish Weekender quite recently. We rode some trails in Glentress with him, but he's a big advocate of that.
That Glentress trail looks awesome.
Yeah,
I have to say. I mean, I think it's looks a little slow for downhill boards in places, but not unrideable. Because you still seem to keep rolling.
Yeah,
certain bits. But I reckon in the dry, you pick up a bit of a lick in there.
Yeah,
especially if people like yourself and Adam who are making the most out of the features and pumping them, that you're going to be able to carry a decent whack of speed.
I mean, it needs a little bit TLC actually. When I got there, because I've ridden it on a mountain bike plenty of times, I thought, it's looking a bit rocky at the minute. Usually it's quite smooth. Berm Baby Berm is the track we were running. There's also another one called Cool Runnings. And if you've got your lucky egg with you,
you get to kiss it, man.
Kiss your lucky egg and get down that one. But yeah, they need a little bit TLC. However, if we had been doing them, I reckon, about a month or a couple of weeks earlier, it wouldn't have had the moisture in the ground as well, so it would have been running a lot quicker as well. So yeah.
See, now I've never spoken to him, neither has Sloggs, but a big fan of Adam Conacher.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we were speaking about him a little bit in the pilot that we did. He's got so much motivation, so much love for the sport, and to be doing it, what it seems to be a majority of it on his own. I mean, I assume, is he consistent with his tricks in the flesh? Because you never know with video edits, how many times it had taken.
What it is? He showed us that start he did when he was doing the transfer off I think it was like a little flat bank over a wall. He might have broke his wrist on that one. So that was a nasty one. But for me, riding a skate park on a mountain board, I find it too frustrating. I like to skate in the skate park, and I use my mountain board on the dirt, and obviously in the pump tracks as well. Mainly because I see what people are doing on the mountain boards in skate parks, and I'm just like, it's just fucking relearning everything again. Seeing Cheb do a frontside, we're at a skate park, right? And Cheb took his Graham Wellerman, he took his mountain board into a skate park, and he was getting some boosted frontside airs out of this quarter, and I was just like, yeah, I'm liking this, I'm watching this. And then I watched him eat shit. When one of them things where he just went so high up and then just stopped, and he was like, oh, and then just dropped out of there on the flat. And I was just like, nah, but watching people ride mountain boards in skate parks and doing what they do, technical lip tricks and stuff like that, is fucking mind blowing. I love it. It's progression. As long as there's progression, everything will continue.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, you've seen skateboarding die down, you've seen it come back. Mountainboarding's exactly the same. It's just died down, at one thing, but it'll pick back up on another. It's branching off in so many different directions at the minute, and there's more and more possibility there, I think. Definitely.
I feel like we're on the crest again of it coming back in. But the wave's coming back up slightly, where I've just got that feeling at the moment with the electric and with the parks and stuff like that, with the pump tracks, all the pump tracks being built everywhere. I feel with the momentum's back there. And let's hope so.
You can green lane from where I live in Northumberland to Berwick, which is the border of Scotland. You can green lane the whole thing, so you don't need to go on a highway, motorway, an A road, a B road, or anything like that. It can be done, possibly from my front door as well.
That's a big old hill. You live right at the top of the biggest hill in the world.
So this, I mean, I think this as well. Anybody that might have, I don't think you ever give up mountain boarding. It'll always be there. It'll always be part of you. It just look at a few of the people that came back for this competition this year. How some people pick up where they left off, and I mean pick up where they left off. Lisa Mack, honestly, was everybody rode brilliantly, but Lisa Mack absolutely fucking killed it. And when I saw her and the freestyle, right, she'd been doing amazing all weekend, but when she got into the freestyle and she was in training and she's got that big smile on her face, she dropped in and she did a backflip and then a 180 to the jump after that, and I was just like, I haven't done one of them in years. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Paul Butler just turned up and fucking got the job done. Yourself, you did exactly the same. Sloggs, you were the same.
You're right. It does. I don't think it leaves you. I don't think it leaves you in the slightest. But not with the amount of ride time that us guys have had over the years. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's because it's almost multi-board sports, isn't it? Because all three of us skate, two of us snowboard, all three of us mountain board. Sloggs, you surf from time to time.
I have done in the past. Scotty skurfs.
Skurfing.
If we can get that video up, just pop that right here.
It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, you know what it is? You know what the worst part of skurfing is? When you forget that they're made of fiberglass and the fiberglass bits come out and rub against your arm and you get home that night and you're picking fiberglass out your arm. Skurfing is the most amazing, and I've seen loads of clips on the internet of people dropping into bowls on surfboards that have got skate trucks put on the bottom. But you know what it is? We did that for a laugh. We rode it up and down the street. And I was like, fucking hell, this works, this. We need to find somewhere where there's a ramp going into the sea to see if we can skate and surf at the same time. And that's where that video came on. It was just an evening session where we go, we've got the promenade in Whitley Bay, and it's all just been resurfaced with pretty much similar to what Stockwell was, you know, the red asphalt stuff.
Yeah.
They've used a similar stuff to that, so it's buttery smooth. Your board doesn't make a noise. We're cruising down, and I was just standing and sort of looked over the edge and went, I forgot about that hill. And that's when the surfboard came out. And the kids have tried it and everything. And it gets back to the whole thing as well. It's got to be fun, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you're on the hill with your mates, it's fun and it's pushing and it's making your friends uncomfortable because you can do something or them doing something and you giving them props but secretly thinking, bastard, I wish I'd done that.
And a slight hint of fear as well with the fun.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that's. I love nothing more than little crew days. You know, when you've got a handful of your close buddies, and all you're doing is ripping into each other, having a shred, whether that be on whatever boards, it makes no difference because the people are the same and the fun's the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, but boarding's not your only passion in life at the moment, is it? I mean, obviously, you've got to give some credit to your kids for being, I suppose, a bit of a passion in our lives.
Yeah.
But you're into your dubs.
Yes.
And I'm not talking records.
Me dub. So I had a T5, Volkswagen T5. Somebody crashed into the back of the T5 and it was written off. Now, my sister had owned an air-cooled Brazilian combi for 10 years. And I was always sort of having a little bit to do with it and having a little tinker with it, but it was the noise it made and the fact that it's got an air-cooled engine. So I'd come back from a snowboarding trip. I'd been to Austria, and when I came back around the corner, I got a text off my sis at the airport saying, "Oh, by the way, I've left you a little present. just use it until you get your bus back on the road, your van back on the road. So when I came around the corner, there's Doug the Dub parked up. And yeah, we just fell in love with each other. So bought
this inanimate object. We fell in love with each other.
So you can either find us under it, inside it, driving it.
You did fall in love.
Or standing outside of it in Aldi's car park in the rain because it wouldn't start shouting at it. Yeah.
And do you put a bit of mileage on that every year?
Yeah. That's my daily driver.
Is it?
It is, yeah. So yeah, sold my car and stuff like that. Got rid of the van. And I tell you what, no power steering. Everything's basic. It was built in 2005, but it's exactly like your 70s model. In some cars, if it starts making a funny noise, you can turn the radio up to drown out the noise of the rattling or the banging. In this, it's pointless having a radio because it's competing with the rattling and banging. But I swear to God, right, every morning, no matter what my mood is, right, I go out that front door, I sit behind the wheel, turn the key, and I fucking smile straight away. And put onto the fact that me and the kids will go all over the place in it. Me and Debbie, we go out in it. We stay overnight. We use it year round. We're camping in it in the winter. I can't wait to do some snowboarding in it up in Scotland, hopefully this season. It's just a joy. It is. It's absolutely brilliant. It's something where, seeing people at comps with converted vans for years, where they've got a little gas cooker in it and a mattress dragged in the back of it and stuff like that. It's that whole thing where it extends your stay. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I forayed into van ownership a few years ago and never really took full advantage of it other than carrying my motorbikes around and stuff like that.
Yes.
But earlier on this year, I've gotten back into van ownership with my Caddy Maxi Life.
Oh, very nice. No, really good van that. Yeah.
It is incredible. The amount of, I got it in April. I'm coming up for 9,000 miles on it since April and it's it has just cruised everything. It's it's a very different drive from your dub, but that ability to just be able to pull up with your gear in the back, chuck the tailgate up, you got somewhere out of the weather elements to get changed or whatever, and you've got a duvet and mattress in the back. That's all you need, really. And yeah, stoked to be back on the road with the van. So I completely get it.
The other thing I have done is obviously I started going to the dub fests. We've got the Mighty Dub Fest up here in Alnwick, the V-Dub camp out at a place called Budle Bay, and just in a beautiful part of the country. So it's all, once again, it's all on my doorstep. It's all in Northumberland. I'm very rarely travelling outside of Northumberland unless, like this Saturday, we're going over the 68 over what's called Carter Bar into Scotland. It's just fantastic. It's a beautiful drive, which takes you into hiking and stuff like that. So, it's one of them things with hobbies. You've got to make time for it. Yeah. It's all right to say, I haven't got the time to do this. I haven't got the time. You've got to make time to do things. It's just good to get out there. Well, I'm taking the skateboards, the longboards, or my mountain board. Usually it's all three in the back. You just head off somewhere.
Kids on the roof.
Oh yeah, don't want them scratching up the inside and smelling it out and
that. Well, that's hell of a good. We're coming up to about an hour, but I think we've got a fair bit more in us yet.
Yeah, of course.
Do
you want to see another gem before you say it? Sorry, before you say it, do you want to see another gem? Are
you going to show us your penis? If so, yeah.
I've put eyes on it, drawn a mustache on it, and everything. Of course I am. Yeah, I thought, well, we've got the vajazzle.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to counteract it, you know what I mean?
We're going to be hell of a disappointed now it's not your penis, aren't we?
Well, the thing is, as well, you know, I'm meant to get the side cutters off. I've put a cable clip on. It's gone purple. Right. So remember, I was saying to you, you were an advocate for saying that all-terrain mountain board should be that. It should be able to take it on dirt. You should be able to take it, you can take it on pump tracks, you can take it in skate parks, take it anywhere you want. But you were the first person I saw doing stair sets and going down to London Bridge, you know, the London Bridge 10.
Yeah.
Can you remember that? And then you did. Can you remember this?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, can you remember that?
I can. I was gutted at that, you know. That
Right,
cover shot. I'll tell you a little interesting story. That cover shot. There was that guy, I think his name's Ollie David or something like that.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think of, Ollie.
And all I can think of is toadfish, stonefish, stalefish, the other lad in there. So we went out for that photo shoot, and then halfway through it, that lad Ollie David just disappeared. We were shooting around South Bank. And I don't know. I said to the other lad, Stalefish, like, where's he gone? Neither of us knew where he'd gone. And then they come back round the corner, and he said, "Oh yeah, we've just been shooting that stair set round there." I was like, "Oh, why don't we all go?" "Oh, we've done it now." All right. What?
Yeah.
Just snatched the bloody cover shot without any of us knowing. I think, you shitbag. I've never even met the guy before, and like we're all in those spots every week. Like, and then
but did he do a roast beef down the stair set though? Look at that. Look, there's Dan there.
Hey, I tell you what, hell of a good looking, isn't I?
Yeah, and that's my favourite grab. That not one that I can do. My neat, Andy Dumlow team neat. Just the fucking best steel fish ever. Like, oh, it just. No bent arm or anything, just brings it up, grabs it, holds it, tweaks it, lands it, rolls away. It is such a beautiful grab. But somebody signed this, actually, if you have a look there as well. Can we see that?
What's it say?
Yeah, it's been signed.
Fuck off, nature.
It says, is that my handwriting?
Yes. Scott, leave me alone. I never want to see you again. You stalking freak of nature, Danny Watson, 04.
Well, I'm glad that I wrote such poetic prose.
That's going on the wall. That is like definitely.
That's got to be worth. That's got to be worth absolutely fuck all by now.
but what we used to do was so Wednesday nights I used to live 5-minute push. I used to live on what's the name? Cable Street in London, near Shadwell. So I was 5 to 10 minutes longboard along the cycle track to Tower Bridge. And on Wednesday nights we used to skate to Tower Bridge. We used to skate to Tower Bridge. And then we used to go along that's our famous street spot, isn't that? With the brick ledge.
Oh, meanwhile.
No. It's like a 45-degree brick embankment thing. You'll recognize it from screenshots in Sidewalk magazine, skaters hitting it and stuff like that. And then you went along, and then there was a stair set, which led from an overpass. And then we went along to another place. You must remember this one. Remember Trampis Heights?
Yes.
Which was a cycle track that came along and did a full 360 degrees and then down on itself again. So we would do that, and then we would scoot over London Bridge. We'd hit the London Bridge 10 set.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't throwing myself down a 10 set. But what we're doing is the little monument next to it.
That's it.
You could sort of do like you could do a slide up on it and stuff like that. And then there was a bomb down to the Lord Mayor's. I could ollie the channel at the Lord Mayor's. Then we used to scoot along past there, the Lord Mayor's testicles, and go to the Pomeler's Arms and drink Spitfire Real Ale for 99 pence or £1.30, and then back over Tower Bridge and back home. So, Dan, you came and brought your mountain board a couple of times.
That's right.
And did exactly what we were doing on longboards and skateboards. but you did it on a mountain board. I remember you doing that big 10 set. In fact, it might have been bigger on the north side of the river. And then there was another one. And I remember you coming around the corner this time and you were going to ollie. Right. And there was a head, there was a thing above it. Can you not remember us running up going, stop? I think you would have jumped.
Started there, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know exactly where you mean.
Yes.
You not remember that, Dan?
I don't. So, I'm sure I would have done had you guys have not rescued me from doing it.
I'll tell you what it was next to as well. There was some chairs back to back. So you used to skate up to them and jump off your skateboard and run over the top of the chairs.
Oh, hippie jump.
And then your board would, and hippie jump, and the board would come out the bottom. You jump out on the board. Yeah.
There were some weird angled thing like not monuments, but like statues, or that whole area had like Dali. What was it? The big Dali elephant with the long legs and stuff like that. And there was some
that's right. Yeah.
weird. In fact, I think there might be a picture in that magazine of these like weird angled wall rides thing that we was trying to sort of wall ride 180 out and stuff. And of course, all these photos that, when you're getting them taken, you're thinking, right, I need to do the most technical trick and this, that, and the other. But in reality, a lot of you just want that one. You're only getting that one shot, so you're better off almost just pulling a decent tweak grab or something like that, because nobody's ever going to get the fact that it's a 360. Okay, maybe a 180 or something like it, so your back is fully parallel to the stair set or to the jump set or the landing. But
because that wouldn't have been digital either, was it?
No.
That would have been film as well. Yeah.
Well, I say that I don't know, but it was definitely them days where Sonny Diven will remind us, this is how he still works. He uses those wind-on cameras and then takes it down the.
Does he?
That's him throwing porn mags, isn't it?
He has to go to a different pharmacist every time to get him developed, because they report him to the police for the images that he gets developed. Funny days. And I noticed in something that you said to me about that you've been on the world scene, haven't you? You've been in competing with the worlds. I mean, obviously the Fat Face Worlds when they were in the UK. We did those. But did you go Serbia or Slovenia or something like that recently?
I did France.
Yeah.
Went over to France. And
Compiègne or LA?
Compiègne. Yeah, Compiègne. I can't think what year it was now. So we went over there had the Blue Van then, and we did a week in, I think they call it the Devil's Dust Bowl, whichever area it was. The whole team Neat went over and stayed there. Just one of the best weeks of my life. That was absolutely fantastic. It was great to see people from all over the world. Met up with some really nice people. One of the most humbling things about over there was as well, Carlos Alberto from Brazil. He couldn't speak hardly any English, and he got somebody to come over, come and sit down next to us and all that. And he went, I know who you are, and I like your style. And fuck me, man. What more can you say? Another picture I wanted to send you was of me and him together again. I've seen him again when I went to Slovenia. Just an amazing person from the other side of the world. Just reunited, united by mountain boarding. But I got there. Go back to Compiègne, got there. I think it was raining when we first got there. The Bryn brothers had been a couple of times and helped with some designing of the track, or some, like regrading the track and riding it and giving all the lowdown on it and stuff. And it was, I think I've sent you a video, an onboard of a run on the track.
Yeah.
And I was really really lucky, because I got there and I thoroughly enjoyed. The only thing I didn't like about that track was the very first feature was a Wu-Tang. And if you had lane 1 or lane 4, there wasn't very much of a drop off. You were landing to the flat on the back of it, whereas in the middle, you were landing on a bit of a ramp, so you could get more speed out of it. So yeah, at the sides, if you got too much air, you would land, and there would be 2-3 boards ahead of you straight away. That's how I felt with it. It was a tricky one at the start, but the rest of the track was absolutely beautiful. So it was a little bit slow when we first got there, and obviously every day it got sunnier and sunnier. So by the time we'd been there for 3 days, you were absolutely charging down that track. So racing on that track was phenomenal. It was absolutely brilliant. I didn't do freestyle, but I sort of kicked myself. I don't practice freestyle enough. I like doing big airs with a grab. I'm not going to, I can't sort of push to any more than that, 180s and stuff like that. So racing's where it's at for me. But that was the one where I thought, I wouldn't have minded having a little blast of that. But yeah, what a party atmosphere. And meeting up with all those people was fantastic. And it was the boost I needed as well, because Richie Sykes has mentioned this before, where he's been in the gates and he's thought, I don't deserve to be here. I'm not good enough. But then he's getting the results. And I think it takes a little while to shake that sort of feeling off, and I did enjoy being there. And one of the best parts about that was you got a tag on your leg, and actual, like tag the watches, tag timing system.
I've just used some
big timing system. Big timing system at the bottom, so you can do a run. So you're allowed as many runs as you want, and then they had like a leaderboard. And I was doing quite well on that leaderboard for quite a while. And I remember coming down, and I'm not really a big one for looking at your times. But yeah, I was going down to that one. I had a look at my times, and I heard a couple of people behind us, and I just heard somebody go, "How the fuck's Scott Leadbitter?" I was like, yes. So that was the best thing about that, regardless of where I finished. I can't remember where I did finish, actually. I know I was in the small final. Yeah. I can't remember any result from that.
Hey man, that's top 8.
But that was it was a world stage, yeah. And that'll do for me, yeah.
I am gutted that well, obviously the whole world's gutted that COVID hit. Just as I started to get my teeth back into mountainboarding, I had plans for Serbia, plans for France, for the champs, both years that it's been scheduled and cancelled. Oh, come on, I'm chomping, foaming, to literally get fully back involved and such. And of course we only had the one downhill race this year. And that got the dates of that got changed, so I couldn't make the full weekend. I drove however many hundreds of miles just for one day's worth of racing.
Well, that's but that's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Exactly. It can't be helped.
Yeah, the fact that you did that to do that is,
it's testament to the people that make it, which is you guys, and hopefully the people who are probably listening and be coming on. I think Matt Bryn said at one point, I've never met a mountain boarder that I've not gotten on well with. And that's exactly my experience as well. It really is a real family affair.
When we did the Gorilla Jam in Willington in Durham, tiny little place, we couldn't offer, there was no campsite or anything like that, and we didn't know if anybody was going to turn up. And then just seeing the likes of Matt and that traveling all that way to ride a BMX track in the arse end of nowhere for a cuddly toy and a jar of jam, because that's what the prizes were. And we chipped in. We raised some money for Raf's charity. It was just, once again, humbling. And that's very special, very special. Going over the other event abroad as well was Slovenia. Slovenia, the track there was in the woods. It was absolutely beautiful, but you couldn't see the end of the track. So come the end, you stand at the top, you can see the finish right the way down. It's a 4-man board across track, and it's not for the faint-hearted. It's fun. Slovenia, I found, was a mixture of a Border X track and a downhill track. And I thoroughly enjoyed racing that one. That was fantastic. And it was a beautiful, beautiful country with amazing people in it. The hospitality there was second to none. And I fancy a trip over there with the boys, like just a family holiday to go over. I was so impressed with Ljubljana, is it the capital city?
Right.
Just fantastic. Lovely, beautiful people. Yeah, I'd go back there in a heartbeat. The one I haven't been to is where the lads have just been for the European Championships. Where's that one again?
Serbia.
It looks an amazing country, and that track just looks massive, doesn't it?
Right. I've been on my wish list for years.
Yeah. I don't think it's a Border X track. I think it's a downhill track with Border X features. And I'm not dissing it in any way whatsoever, because it just looks epic. I've got to ride that thing. Got to ride it. Yeah.
Well, let's do it next year if they hold a Worlds there or whatever. They've just done a European thing, a sort of short.
That's it, the European. Yeah.
Again, that was another one I was gutted to miss, but I'd have been hung if I'd have gone away on my birthday weekend and the kids had not been involved.
The thing is, when you're a dad, you've got to put your kids first, and you've got to find the happy medium. You've got to know when to say no, and that's just the way it is, you know. The way I look at life is, I'm not getting older. I'm running out of time. So as far as I'm concerned, I've still got it in it. But I need to get it done now. So these things are still on the radar. It's Australia, isn't it? Is it next year?
Australia. Apparently so. I mean, that would be a nice one to go to. But
oh god, it would be amazing. Got
to have some deep pockets.
Yeah.
And a lot of time.
Yeah.
You're not just popping over there for the fucking weekend, are you?
Nah. You'd need what? Sloggs, you've been over. Dan, you've been over.
Yeah, I've been over.
It takes a fortnight before you sort of pull yourself together, don't you?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Get used to it. Yeah.
And it takes you a fortnight to get anywhere over there.
Yeah. Aye. But the Aussies are good crack. That would be a laugh, that one, like.
I reckon.
We put on also now, then, are we?
So let's put it in the diary.
So if there's any sponsors watching this or any millionaires, you know what I mean? Why spend £330,000 on an old Banksy on a bit of a wall that's been torn down? Send a couple of fucking idiots over to Australia. We'll put a good show on for you.
Any Bitcoin millionaires out there?
Yeah.
Not know what to do with it? Send a little bit our way. Let's send the old boys out on tour to us, and I'll tell you what, we're going clean up. That's it. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
First, second, third, right there.
When you said clean up, I thought you meant do some work. Well, we're over there, just like cleaning dishes or something, paying away.
Go and work on a farm with all the other backpackers.
Yeah.
When I worked on a farm over there, they threw me the tractor keys on the first day there because they knew I was Cornish. I'd never fucking drove a tractor in my life. Just threw me the keys. So it's a fucking great thing. I had 8 people planting on the back of it, all like Danish and like Swedish backpackers. I'm just jamming the brakes on every 2 minutes and slamming their heads into the little metal things that they were dropping the things into.
You didn't even have a driving license.
No, I didn't have a driving license.
I hadn't driven a tractor. I haven't driven a car. I've not driven. The only thing I've ridden is my mountain board.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant over there, isn't it? They don't give a fuck.
But the thing is, as well, you've got the experience because you've been in the back of a trailer when it's been going up the hill to Hereford and places like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're sort of qualified anyway, aren't you?
I've been in the back. I've never been in the front before.
It's fucking ace, man.
One of the worst feelings in the world, isn't it? Getting to the top of one of the tracks in a trailer and then just seeing your board bounce off.
Oh.
And everybody turns around and goes, "Are your board?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye. Watch it disappear down the hill there.
want to pick everyone else's up and throw them the same way.
Say, that was it.
Funny now,
your board never fell off, Scott. It was just me sitting there flicking it off at the top. You noticed it only ever happened right at the top. Well, gents, we are now on about an hour and a quarter. I am gonna think about pulling the plug soon because I'm gonna be trying to work to sort of hour schedule-ish. I don't want at this early stage in it, I don't want to ruin people's interest by smashing out 3-hour epics.
Because I've been here all night talking to you two.
Well, that's it. I mean, we
can chat.
We can have a
Plus,
social...
I've got to get this cable tie off.
I am busting for a piss as well. Well, you go for a wee before coming on, and by the end of it, I'm sitting there cross-legged.
That's an age thing, man. My bladder's the size of a walnut nowadays.
Bladder's the size of a walnut, and the prostate the size of a melon.
Yeah.
In fact, that could be the title for this podcast. Bladder the size of a walnut, prostate the size of a watermelon. Listen, man, this has been absolutely amazing having you on here, Scott. It's been a long time. It's been a long time speaking to since the champs this summer. And that was a good catch up then, because we probably hadn't been in the same place at the same time since maybe your birthday, Sloggs, or something?
My 40th.
Your 40th. Yeah. I'm a big advocate for Perranporth. My sis was down there on holiday this year. It was honestly beautiful part of the country.
I
call it the Triangle of Rad, but now you've got New Quay and Mount Hawke. Mount Hawke's amazing.
Let's not even get started on how many skate parks are down there at the moment.
It's springing up everywhere. Maverick have sorted the West Country out lovely, haven't they?
Too right, have they? Yeah.
It's fast becoming the skate capital of the UK, I reckon.
Caernarfonia, as they now call it.
Caernarfonia. But yeah, come back down. Come for a ride. Actually, you were supposed to meet me in October.
Yes.
But I completely forgot about it, and I was up there in knots anyway, and I didn't have a board for half of it because that was being repaired, so it might not have been the best time for that. But yeah, get your ass back down here. Bring the boys down. Come for a skate sesh. We got St Ives Park, Red Roof, Falmouth, Drakenna Crescent. The Plaza up at
Exmouth have got a new one as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a nice bowl there by the look of it. I've not been there yet.
And Concrete Waves at Newquay. And obviously you're familiar with Mount Hawke and that. Hopefully try and organise a bit of an electric meet in the springtime if you can get yourself on electric.
Oh, you know what it is? This year I offset taking the dump because I don't work too far away. So instead of taking the dump to work, what I thought I'd do is I'd buy myself an electric skateboard, start using an electric skateboard to go to work in. The money that I saved on fuel, not using the dump to go to work in, paid for the electric skateboard this year. So, and that was I've had a shot at the electric mountain boards, and they are absolutely. I had a go at yours as well. At the competition Sloggs, they are phenomenal. They are absolutely brilliant. And once again, progression. It's taken mountain boarding in a totally new direction. It's the fact that you can explore. I mean, it's almost going back to the Future, isn't it? Marty flying around on his hoverboard and stuff like that, and going.
It's all about Biff on the bloody. All about Biff on the other. What's his name? Was it
on the pit?
Yeah, Biff
on the pitbull. That shit. That was the better one. That fucking pink tail shit.
Sticking electric on a mounted board. They've reinvented the wheel.
Yeah,
they've just fucking opened it up now, and it's just. And
do you think it's a new crowd as well?
There is a new crowd.
People who have never mountain boarded before are going, ooh, I fancy one of these, whereas before mightn't have. Yeah.
There's people that we know that started on like street boards, on a normal electric skateboard, and they've sort of gone, oh, this is all right. But they've started doing that because they've got the cash and they're doing DIY builds. And then they sort of bump into us at events and stuff, and they go, oh, I want a piece of that. And like with Mark Bishop, he's moved across solely to mountain boarding now on the electrics. He took one sniff at them and he couldn't get enough. He was like a dog with two fucking tails with a mountain board. But yeah, it's definitely a new crowd coming in, which is good.
And a returning crowd from the old crew as well. So it really is. It really is an exciting time for both of those, and I just hope that they can coexist together and feed off each other.
Yeah, you don't want divisions, do you? Yeah.
No, and without a doubt, downhill mountain boarding has a lot to teach people when it comes to the electric, because you know, it's that old adage of like, what happens if your remote fails with an electric? How are you going to stop the board if your trigger stops working?
Yeah,
you know,
they wouldn't know how to do a power slide, would they? They've never been to mountain board centre.
They're not going to be looking at the terrain necessarily, thinking, right, I can use that.
Peel off here. Speed there.
So it's interesting to say the least. But I've got to say, I mean, the Bryn Brothers event that they did at Bugs Boarding this summer, EBIT was really, really superb to see. That drive in a whole new crowd. Well, not a whole new crowd, as we're saying, but you know, there's a large portion of that those riders had never been to a mountain board centre before, never ridden a board across before, and they fair dues to all of them. Yeah, you know, they all attacked it and went for it and gave the best that they were able to give, and it was fantastic to see. You know,
massive smiles on everyone's faces. A great event, absolutely brilliant event. I really enjoyed that.
It's definitely worth it. And like you say, with those green lanes up near you, you could be in Scotland on a charge. It's definitely worthwhile.
I mean, Andy Dumlow, he built his own, and it's a beautiful machine. And he went down the route of, he wanted to be able to travel somewhere on his electric mountain board. He can travel somewhere on your electric mountain board, take the motor off, use it without a motor, like ride a hill, have a freestyle jib and all that, then put the motor back on and ride back home. And that's what he does. Yeah. One of our local spots. It's like a freestyle jib spot, and that's what he does when he comes down there. You know, we trudge off to our cars and then head off home, and he just whacks the motor back on and back along. They're old coal lines, so there used to be train tracks there with taking the coal from various pits back in the day, and they're called the wagon ways, and they've got like sort of loose cinder and hard packed dirt on them with rubble in, and that are absolutely ideal. And the beauty about them is for them to be economical back in the day, they had to sort of as the crow flies. So it is quicker than going by car. Yeah, you're cutting off, you know, you can be to the coast within a small matter of time, you know. So, yeah, really, really good.
So what you're saying is we're coming up to see you rather than you coming down to see us this time?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll take your
put it on the list. It's just below Australia, though.
I was going to say, I'll take your skurfing.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is tuck your balls in between your legs before you get in the water, because that's where they end up anyway.
He's already tucked up and taped up tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want me to stand up.
Like the crying game.
But, I mean, that's another thing with the electric boards, with trammer and stuff like that, is go back, remember Quantox?
Yes.
Yeah, remember that track? That
was my first event.
Was it really?
No Snow Downhill Challenge, and I turned up there with
that
Dougie.
was it.
And I had I borrowed a helmet and some pads from the mountain ride the hill, and turned up there with my brand new earth board that I'd like literally bought the day before, because I'd just been borrowing the centers boards all the time before. And it was like, oh yeah, you've got slalom, border cross, freestyle. I was like, sweet, yeah, I'll have some of that. Got there. The first thing I think I saw was probably someone like Matt Gaydon or Mark Petford just smashing themselves on that wet mud. But it was just
with Flint mixed in with it.
Yeah. And then I looked at myself, my skinny little white frame, and these skinny little, probably had rollerblade written on top of my pads and stuff. and a big splodge of green spray paint that didn't make the size.
So you know you've stolen them.
Yeah.
Was that the skate truck one?
Sorry. Yeah.
Is that the skate truck one? Aye.
That one.
Yes.
I've still, the deck's knocking around somewhere, but
the
board there. Crikey, a new set of bushings every time. So yeah, fun times.
Yeah.
And this has been a fun time.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Look, dude, I can't thank you enough. We've got one more section to go, and it's got nothing to do with me, this bit. I'm not in charge, so who knows what could happen. We got a little 10-second quick fire hosted by your
10-second, 10-question quick fire.
10-question quick fire round. You ready for this?
At you. Don't think about them. Just throw the answer out.
No take backs.
No, I can't. Yeah.
Right. Reg or goof?
Oh, goofy all the way.
Yeah. Best centre, past or present?
Ride the hill. It's
Which one?
Red Hill.
Pasty or pie?
Oh, pasty.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a strange one coming from the northerner. Huh?
Nah, don't be nasty. Have a pasty.
Don't be shy. Show us your pie. Park or free ride?
Free ride.
Border cross or freestyle?
Oh, border cross, hands down.
All the way. I knew that was good.
Yeah.
Mountain or woodland trails?
Woodland trails.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Big air or slope style?
Ooh, big air.
Best rider, past or present?
Best rider. Oh,
this is it's such a hard question.
Today's best rider is tomorrow's. Like, it changes.
Yeah, you're only as good as the last trick.
Who was the last person you see on Instagram?
Best rider, right? Me homie Andy Rude Dog. Hands down.
He's a fucking legend. He is.
Yeah.
All about
his back. He's got my back.
Yeah, I've got loads of time for that boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome.
Right. So I'm going to try and start some beef here. Right. Nicest mountain boarder in the world. Tim Jones or Eamon Shaw?
Oh, no, you can't do that. Tim. But
Jones.
Eamon came to the Gorilla Jam and filmed it, and he is just the nicest dude ever, isn't he?
Too late now. Eamon's credit the shit out of your bits on here.
I don't
all
care.
Your sounds now missing.
Right? Eamon could do a video about a broken chair leg, and you would watch it and go, "That was fucking awesome." That. When you see the thing about the broke, that's how good he is. Did you see that documentary you did about grass growing? It was fantastic. The bit where the paint dried, that was class. That's Eamon Shaw. We'll be sitting watching him mixing with Hollywood royalty, right? Going, I fucking know him in a few years' time.
That's it.
Hopefully he'll invite all along. We can cause some mayhem.
Right, and he can make me look a good rider. He's that fucking good. Right, this is the last question.
Oh, then.
And it's the most important one.
Oh, right? God, yeah.
Well, you got to decide where me and Dan are riding together on Saturday. So I'm going to throw two names out that you've never heard of. You just need to decide which one we're riding at. Right, pole dice or land hydrock?
Land hydrock.
Hey.
Nice one. Cheers.
You know, if you'd asked
between the pair of us,
if you'd asked us, where should we go and ride this weekend? You know what I would have said? It would have been a toss-up between Plain Place or Camborne, but I would have erred towards Camborne.
Yeah, Tucking Mill Bowls.
Tucking Mill Bowls, yeah.
It's rough as fuck now, though.
Is it?
Yeah, you need super soft, large wheels on it. It's just not weathered well.
No, that's a shame. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's amazing down there, isn't it?
Yeah. So what about Plain Place? Because somebody spent some time making that good, didn't they?
Yeah,
we rode it when it was as rough as shit, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, rough as fucking rats down there. It was for years. They filled all the cracks in. Put a bit of love on that. That Tombstone extension. You can't ride it this time of year now. Too many leaves.
Yeah.
The woods, and it all over it. It's slippery as fuck. Nice summer's day. Brush it out. It doesn't get used that often now. But it's an oddity, isn't it? It's not like
it's
not something you go ride every fucking day of the week, is it? Fuck off.
I'm going to ride a curb in underpass tomorrow with the little one.
Oh yeah,
Zach. Yeah, it's that time of year. He wanted to go out for a skate tonight, but it was pissing down outside. And then I said to him, I tell you what, we could have went down and skated the curb, couldn't he? So I think we're doing the curb tomorrow night.
Curb slapping.
Yeah, get the candle out.
Yeah, you have to send us some footage, man.
Yeah. Send you some footage of us rolling around on the floor swearing. Cigarette butts stuck to me back and stuff like that. Big smile on my face.
Please do, man. Please do. Look, this has been The Dirt, episode 1.
Yeah.
Scott Leadbitter in the hot seat. I'm Dan Watson.
I'm Paul Sloggett, and it's been a fucking pleasure, Scott. Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to the Perrys. I am humbled that you asked us to do this. And it's been too long. We need to talk more often.
Yeah,
we need to shred.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Let's get it sorted.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys,
so
see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
Right. See you on the 100th episode.
That's the way. So that's the way.
Okay, then.
Right, laters, man.